Getting started on this horse trailer conversion has been on my list of things to do. We want to make it more suitable for goats. This is a little bit out of my comfort zone. I've never worked on a horse trailer before, so forgive me if I do some things wrong. What I want to take care of today is replacing some of the floorboards. The first thing I need to do is remove these floor mats. Here's the problem: rotted wood. There's just some really bad spots right back here. Here's another spot that I don't like. And this one is pretty bad right here. I should probably replace whole boards, but they run under this wall. And on the other side of the wall is a storage area with other flooring placed on top of those boards. I'm gonna try and just replace the worst spots. I was confused about the bolts that hold the boards on. There are no nuts below where they penetrate through those metal braces. Someone at Winks, my very favorite hardware store, was able to help me out. I described the star-shaped pattern on the top of those bolts and what I was working with in general, and he knew exactly what I was talking about. These bolts are, I'm not exactly sure what they're called. I'm just gonna call them self-tapping trailer bed bolts. They are very specific to trailer beds like this. Nuts would just vibrate loose, so that wouldn't work very well for a trailer. These, I bought some new ones, are designed to go through the metal and carve their own grooves, so you don't need nuts. Just in case I need to make new pilot holes, I also got this drill bit that's exactly the right size for what I need. So this is where I'm going to make my first cut. I've made sure that I'm not going to be cutting into any metal brace down below. These bolts have been in here for a very long time. I'm not real optimistic that they're all going to come out nice and easy with my new bit. Look at this one. This is in the very worst spot. Look how corroded that thing is. There's really not enough left of these two bolts for me to even try that new bit. To get this board out, I'm going to have to cut those screws. Let's try something else. Well, that worked. Just a good old-fashioned crowbar sometimes works. Now I really need these things flush to get the new board in. I don't know if this tool is going to do it. Let's find out. Have to try something else. Boy, this bit is not working so well. I think the screws are just in there a little too tight. This one's working. That's so rotten, just came right out. I've got most of the boards out that I want out. I'm gonna have to figure out something to get rid of those screws that are still attached. This long board here that I'm replacing still has too many of those bolts holding it in place for me to pry it out. So I need to find a way to cut the heads off of those bolts so I can actually get the board out. All right, I'm back from Home Depot with a couple of new tools. I've got an angle grinder to cut those bolts and an impact driver. Hopefully this will let me back out some of those bolts without having to cut them. The right tool makes all the difference. Oh, that is nice too. Really nice. What?
Is it working better?
It's working better. I've still got this piece that's a little stuck. Okay, there we go. There we go. It's just being held by something right here. There, finally. What do you think, Wendy?
I don't like sparks.
Okay, got the board out, and I've got one last bolt to cut.
I'm not gonna look.
I wanted Wendy to watch the sparks.
I don't like the sparks. You're gonna melt the camera. I don't like the muff on fire. Right?
Perfect. All right, when I was taking out the board, the end of this one got a little damaged, and it does feel a little bit soft. So I'm gonna use a full 10-foot piece of this pressure-treated on this section. I've already slid it over and drawn my line right here. So we'll just need to take this little short piece out. Look at that. Yeah. Very nice. Yeah, that's a nice one. So we're having broccoli for dinner. Are you helping with the broccoli? That doesn't look like you're helping. No.
You gotta cut it just so, see? Just gonna leave little things. Little broccolis can grow in those spots.
So it keeps going. Nice.
You only get a little piece, but it's still something.
Is there a size that you'd like to look for first, or is it just catching it before it goes to seed?
It's catching it before it goes to seed, and I've been kind of putting my hand on it every day just to see if it's starting to loosen up. And you can see how it's kind of maybe loosening up a little bit, but it's still nice and firm.
Yeah.
But this is the biggest I've ever been able to get here in this garden. Usually it's too hot too early and we don't get enough sunshine, but this year we had that weird weather earlier in the year in May when they weren't headed up yet, and so that made them get really big really fast, and then the heads have been growing pretty slowly in this cooler weather, so I think that helped because they got a lot of sunshine
Early on. Yeah.
So that's nice. I'm gonna get another one.
Well, this is a full bed.
I like to crowd things so I don't have room.
We do have moles.
Broccoli and a cauliflower, because I have a nice cauliflower here too. It's the only one that is big. I don't know why.
Oh yeah, look at that. Nice white color too.
Yeah. And these don't make little cauliflowers, so you can just kind of feed it to your goats or your chickens, or pigs, or whatever you have.
Do you want to feed the leaves to the goats?
Yep.
It all gets used here.
And since these are nice and tender, I usually just hack them off about halfway, and I'll chop those up and use them too. Because Brian likes broccoli stems, so you can pick that stuff up if you want.
Well, I got most of it. All right, so these boards are precisely 7 inches wide. The pressure treated lumber that I got from Home Depot is 7 1/4 inches. So I'm gonna rip 1/4 inch off with the table saw. My lovely assistant will be assisting. We need to plug the saw in. Thank you, lovely assistant. I'm grateful they didn't bolt these boards down to every single metal brace. I'm also just going to use every other brace to attach the new boards. Except, of course, for these short pieces. They need to have both braces used. I'm going to be using all new holes. To make things just a little bit easier, I've marked on the boards exactly where those holes need to go. I've been careful to mark the spot so that it won't line up and hit where an old bolt was removed or where one had been cut off. To help keep things lined up and maybe just a little bit more stable, I've got these tie plates to span where my splices are. There are a few steps involved here. My first holes will go through the boards and just score the metal braces. I'll then remove the boards and drill the rest of the way through those metal braces using a lubricant to help keep things from overheating. I don't want the threads of the bolt to grab the wood. I just want them to grab the metal. If little wood splinters track down into the metal, then the hold won't be as good. So before I put the boards back in, I'll enlarge those holes. I think I overestimated the need for that lubricant. This one drilled all the way through on the first pass. Probably a little too much. See the holes now. From this to this. It may not look like much, but I'm glad it worked out. This project was a little intimidating for me. Finishing the horse trailer conversion to the goat trailer conversion will have to wait for another video. Thanks for watching.